Hello, my fellow gold diggers. This is your girl Rita, also known as the self proclaimed gold digger. Welcome to my channel where I talk about my life as an entrepreneur, business owner, wife, and mom, all while crushing these goals. And today I'm coming to you to talk about how to manage your time when you really don't have any, it seems. So, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, we wear many hats. We are pulled in many different directions. We have different responsibilities, and it seems like, or oftentimes it seems like there is never enough time for us to do what we need to do. And this year and going forward, I am reclaiming my time because my time is so valuable, and I realize that I have to spend it doing on things that are going to make my business more successful and that are going to help me achieve the goals that I need to. And anything that is not going in that direction or helping me to be successful or helping me to achieve the goals is a waste of time. So I am reclaiming my time. Maybe you have heard that saying where you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. Time is a non renewable resource. So, one of my biggest pet peeves is when my time is wasted just because I cannot get that back. I can lose money, and I'm not saying I'm okay if I lose money, but at least I know with money I can get the money back if I've lost money. But I can't get back my time. It's lost, it's gone, or whatever, and I can't get it back. So I try to make sure I am spending my time wisely, spending my time on things that are productive, spending my time on things that are positive, spending my time on things that are feeding me, helping me to grow into the best version of me as possible, and helping my business to grow to be successful and prosperous. So, today, I will be giving you 5 tips of how to manage your time when you don't have any, or 5 tips on reclaiming your time. So, here we go. Tip number 1: know your value and value your time. So, knowing your value. So, like I mentioned before, time is very valuable. It is a non-renewable resource. So how much value do you give to yourself or give to your time? How much value are do you have invested in yourself? Like, how much are you worth? Is it worth you wasting your time doing something that is not beneficial to you, that is just mindless, that is not stimulating you, that is not growing? Like, know who you are, know how important and how valuable and how special you are, so that you are able to guard your time. Now, what I'm not saying is that be high and mighty and be like, oh, I'm too big to be wasting my time on these minions or whatever. I'm not saying that, but you do need to recognize the value that you devoting your time to something, or you spending your time on something, has, and also what you are losing or what's being taken away from you because you've decided to do one thing versus another. So know your value, know your worth, and don't spend your time and don't spend your energy doing things that are not worth it to you, or are beneath the value that you have placed in yourself. So I hope that makes sense, because like I said, I'm not trying to say make you seem like you're some big important king or queen or something like that, who can't waste, who has these other little people doing stuff for you. But you do need to know your value, and you need to value your time. So I always say use your time wisely and delegate where appropriate, so that you're not wasting time doing stuff that somebody else could be doing. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I think I've said enough. Tip number 2, wake up early and go to bed early. We spend a lot of time doing nothing. Okay. And I am also guilty of this. How many of you have stayed up knowing you should be in bed, but you are on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, scrolling through Facebook or IG or what have you? I mean, I have definitely done this. And then the next morning, you're struggling to wake up because you didn't go to bed when you were supposed to, and you know you need to get to work early, you have to do all this stuff, but you just wasted your time last night and you didn't go to bed when you were supposed to. So set a bedtime for yourself and go to bed early and wake up early. We have to dismantle this myth that we started believing about ourselves in childhood. Like, I remember as a child, I wanted to grow up so I didn't have to have a bedtime. Like, I want to be able to stay up as late as I want, even as a teenager, even in college and things like that. It was like, it was freeing. It felt like freedom because you could stay up as late as you want. There was nobody telling you when to go to sleep, when to go to bed. You didn't have your parents and that kind of stuff. And you thought that was like part of growing up or part of being an adult or whatever. But adulting is real, and it really doesn't have anything to do with trying to stay up all night, is what I have found. So dismantle that myth of I can stay up as late as I want, because half the time we're trying to stay up late and we already halfway falling asleep, and we just need to go ahead and take ourselves to bed. So set a bedtime and also set a wake up time, because you can't just go to bed and then not have a time where you need to start your day. And if you are a business owner or entrepreneur, waking up an hour before you're supposed to do something is probably not ideal. An hour before you're supposed to go to the office, an hour before you're supposed to go to work, an hour before you're supposed to meet a client or get on this phone call. That is not ideal. If you are an entrepreneur, business owner, or even if you're not, you ideally, if you're trying to do something, anything in leadership or be successful or advance in your career, you need to get up early and prepare for your day. Okay. So, and any time that I end up sleeping in or waking up late, I feel like I'm rushing all throughout the day, and like my whole day is thrown off because I didn't adequately prepare because one, I stayed up way too late, then I didn't get up when I was supposed to, and now I'm like still scrambling trying to get ready for the day just because I didn't take myself to bed when I was supposed to. Okay. So give yourself a bedtime and give yourself a wake up time. All right. Now, tip number 3, make a weekly and daily agenda. So you need to plan out your tasks for the week, plan out your tasks for the day. That way you have like an overview of all the things that you need to do for the week, an overview of what you need to do for the day. And you can kind of plan accordingly and see how much time you have, see how much free time you have. And just, it tells you what you need to be doing throughout the day, so you are less inclined to waste your time, because you already have in the back of your head like, okay, I got these 5 things on my to-do list. I don't have time to be getting on Facebook. I don't have time to watch another YouTube video. I need to make sure I'm tackling my to-do list. Okay, so make an agenda, make a weekly agenda, so you will, a weekly and a daily agenda, so you know what you need to do for the day. Tip number 4 is to set time limits on each activity that is on your agenda. So I have timers for just about everything. If you see me glance over here, I'm actually looking at my timer because I have timers even for when I do my YouTube videos, because I want to make sure I am using my time wisely. Okay. And also, when you start setting timers for stuff, it gives you an idea of how long it actually takes you to do stuff, because our concept of time, or at least mine, let me just speak for myself, our concept of time is very skewed. My concept of time is very skewed because I can be like, okay, let me do this, and it's only going to take me 10 minutes. Mind you, 30 minutes later, I'm just finishing the task. So something that I thought would take me 10 minutes actually takes me 30 minutes. But the fact that I set a timer for myself gives me an idea of how long it's going to take. And when I have to do this task in the future, instead of me saying, oh, I only need 10 minutes to do it, and then I'm upset and rushing because I didn't finish it, I will know, hey, no, it doesn't take you 10 minutes. It typically takes you 30 minutes to do this, and you need to budget your time accordingly so you can make sure you get the stuff done. Because, like I said, our concept or my concept of time or how long it takes me to do something is very different from how long it actually takes me to do stuff. Also, when you set time limits on it, it helps you to hit different things on the agenda, because sometimes we will get so consumed in doing something that we didn't realize, oh my god, I just spent 2 hours working on this thing and I still have 5 other things I need to handle. So when I set my timers, maybe I did not complete it or whatever, but I'm like, okay, this is all the time I have for today to spend on this particular task because I need to move on. And that way I can adjust my weekly agenda or adjust my daily agenda accordingly and be like, okay, I got halfway done with this, or I think I need another 30 minutes or 45 minutes to complete this other thing. Where can I carve out the time to be able to do this? Also, I have found that typically whenever I have big chunks of time, so let's say I have 3 and 4 hours, and I'm like, I know I have 3 and 4 hours, and maybe I have a task that's going to take 2 or 3 hours. Usually, I would try and put that task for that particular day where I had the 2 to 3 hours. But I kid you not, without fail, it would always be something that would come up that would eat into that 3 and 4 hour time block that I had. And then I was not able to do the big task that already took several hours or would take me several hours to complete. And then I would be frustrated because I'm like, I allocated this day and this time for this task. I thought I was going to have this big chunk of time, but X, Y, and Z came up, and I was only left with actually only an hour to try and work with it instead of the 3 hours that I thought I was going to have. So, because of that, I have realized whenever I do have stuff on my to-do list, I usually will not spend more than an hour on a task if it's a large task, because I don't know. For me, something always happens. And two, my attention span, usually I need a break. So usually anything that takes a while or whatever, after me working on it for about 45 minutes or so, usually I need like a 10 to 15 minute break or whatever. So I'm usually taking a break just so I can refocus, regroup, and usually that's when you get distracted by other stuff anyway. So or you don't feel like going back to it. So usually anything I plan for, it's not longer than an hour, just because I know my attention span. I know how my schedule is. Things are constantly changing, and I might not have more than an hour at a time. Now, for small tasks, I might give myself 15 to 30 minutes, no longer than that or whatever, for small tasks that I feel like I can achieve quickly. All right, now the last and final tip that I am going to give you for today about how to manage your time when you feel like you don't have any is to create a routine. Get into a routine. Just like I was telling you, set a bedtime, set a wake up time. You need to start creating a routine for yourself so that when you wake up in the morning, you do, I don't know, you do meditation or devotion, or you exercise, whatever it is, so you'll know that these things are part of your daily agenda, part of your daily schedule, and that way you just feel more in control of what you're doing from day to day. So set a routine. I mean, there's a reason why they had a routine or they had an agenda when you were in school. Like, you know, you had math first or reading, then you had a 15-minute break, they had snack time, that kind of stuff. You had a routine, and even though a lot of times it was predictable, it kept you on a schedule so you would know what to expect. And because you knew what to expect, you could accommodate stuff that might come up at the last minute into your schedule, or say, hey, I'm not going to be able to accommodate that because these are all the things I need to do today. These are all the things on my schedule for today. So create a routine. Routines are they're very natural. They are part of nature. Like, if you think about it, like down to a science or whatever, there's a reason why we have seasons. There's a reason why we have night and day. There's a reason why you have to go to bed and you have to eat at different times. Your body has a routine. Your body has a rhythm that it is in of itself that tells you, hey, we're tired, hey, I'm hungry. So you need to create a routine for yourself to help you achieve your goals. All right, now that was my final tip. Just as a quick recap, how to manage your time when you don't have any. Know your value and value your time was tip number 1. Tip number 2 was wake up early and go to bed early, meaning set a bedtime and set a wake up time. Tip number 3, make a weekly agenda as well as a daily agenda for yourself. Tip number 4, set time limits for each activity on your agenda. And finally, tip number 5, create a routine. If any of you had questions about any of those tips, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. Tell me, do you have a routine, and what is the key to making your routine work? If you do have a routine, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. I'm always interested in trying to make my routine more efficient so that I can maximize my time. All right, that is all I have for you today. Take care, everyone.